Welcome to BeerAmerica.tv. I am Paul Leone with
John Pinkerton.
And we are at the distillery in Savannah, Georgia, right above it all. Thank them for having us. It's a great American craft beer bar. And then you own the Moon River Brewing Company, which is the only brew pub in Savannah, Georgia.
Indeed.
So two
the
great
only
places
brewery
to visit.
in Georgia at this
yeah,
point.
right.
Or, no,
in
not,
Savannah, in the southeast part of
Scratch that. I'm sorry.
Savannah, Georgia.
The only brewery in Savannah, Georgia.
I want to the southeast, right? Of Georgia.
I got excited there for a minute. Got ahead of myself.
Yeah.
It's all part of my world domination plan.
So today we're here to talk about another really good beer by the Shmaltz Brewing Company, and that would be the Coney Island Sword Swallower. There we go. Let's take a look at. There you go. Now you can see it. Sword Swallower. And
you know what I like about this beer already, Paul?
What's that? The label? Let me guess.
I think the graphics are excellent.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
It's a steel hop lager. He likes the and yeah, label. You know what? And you said the very same thing. The reason why I brought this to the table because the very first beers we did. Do you remember what they were for episode 1?
Oh, we did the other one from Coney Island.
Right, and you thought the label was cool.
Yeah.
And then I had talked about how that makes an impression when you're going down the beer aisle and you see all of those beers. So happy anniversary. No, it's not really an anniversary, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, when did we start?
Early last year, summer of last year, 2008.
Okay,
summer 2008. So yeah, a while, but
it's not quite time for a hug yet, but
no, not yet. No, we gotta have some sort of success before I do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
gotta get some money rolling in, and then we can hug.
But Shmaltz Brewing Company, which is as we did our favorite beers for 2008, I picked the Brooklyn Local 1, which I really loved. But right before that, we had the Jubilation 12 by the same company, and I said this was my top 5 beers of all time. So I've become a really big fan of Shmaltz.
Yeah, that's right.
Brewing, really big fan of Shmaltz Brewing.
That was a great beer. It was a huge beer, though.
It was a gigantic beer.
It was a big night of huge beers.
And I think David Little drank a pint of it, although he says, and I don't believe him, because it would kill the average bull to drink a pint of Jubilation 12, but I digress. So we're talking about the Coney Island Sword Swallower Steel Hop Lager from the Shmaltz Brewing Company.
Well, with just you and me, we're just like pouring our own beers here.
I know, the way it used to be, old times. Here's to old times, old times.
I get a little
so let's give it a pour and see what we think. Can you see that right there? And
so what kind of beer is this, Paul? We got a nice like.
It says it's a steel hop lager.
Kind of golden.
So
deep golden color here.
We had the Coney Island lager, and this is the steel hop lager. And David Little says this is one of his favorite lagers.
Oh, speaking of the devil.
There he is.
Stuck it off as himself.
Just clear.
He's usually hanging
clearing
out.
Clearing the table for you guys.
Yeah,
just clearing the table. So.
All right.
Oh, I see how it's going to be.
So he took the bottle, and it's 6.8 alcohol, and it's got 6 hops and 4 malts. Now the Jubilation 12 had 12 and 12. So this is still pretty big. It has the 8 hops and 4 malts. I'm sorry, yeah, 8 hops and 4 malts.
Wow, lovely aroma. I mean, like right out of the top, I'm getting kind of like a honeysuckly, jasmine-y kind of thing. You know, the kind of like
the jazz,
perfumey.
And I get a nice hop kick at the end there. You get that?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The bitterness is there on the tongue.
I didn't get it at the front.
The initial taste to me just kind of flooded me with fruity character, and then you get that bitterness that kind of lingers. At 6.8, this is not a light beer by any stretch, but at the same time, it's not exactly a huge beer either.
See, now I didn't get too much bitterness on the tongue. I digress to you because you're the expert, not me. You know really what your beer is. You're a very good beer taster. I don't know, it just seemed kind of smooth to me, I guess.
Yeah, it drinks very nicely.
And then the hop, like, wow. And not in a bad way, but a nice hoppy kick I got.
And this is a lager, huh?
Yeah, it says it's a steel hop lager.
Well, I don't know what the steel part means, but
I think it goes along with the whole sword swallower thing.
Right. I'll catch up here in a minute. But what I am getting here is not the typical lager character. Like to me, like this is drinking almost like an ale to me because I'm getting more fruit, and I didn't get that distinctive sulfury note, the lager note.
Fruit's good, but I think you sort of touched upon it with flower, like a little flowery or a little floral is the word.
Yeah,
it's an English.
There's a high perfumey note. There's a like almost like orange blossom or
and I wouldn't
jasmine.
say in a bad way. I mean,
no, that's a good thing.
It's a nice
in my book, that's
hint.
a good thing.
Yeah, this is really nice. Not what I expected at all. Then David,
I would say dangerously
you want to come
drinkable.
talk about this real quick?
Or
Because this is one of your
6.8 beer.
favorite.
What can I say about it?
Well, I don't know. You said this before we did this. Before John and I started, you said this is one of my favorites.
Well, it's actually one of my absolute favorite lagers.
Lagers.
I have a tendency not to like lagers because I think what I've realized about myself is that I'm not a really big fan of the really big noble hop aromas. This is hop with mostly American hop, so the aroma in that's mostly American, the C hops, so some Cascade. I think there's some Amarillo in the dry hopping.
There's something in there that's throwing those real high perfuming notes.
Yeah, and this to me, I can drink this and go, I get the quality of the lager, the lightness, the drinkability, if you will, kind of on a summer day kind of thing. But it still reminds me of an American IPA too.
Sure.
So it kind of takes the best of both worlds. I think
Yeah,
that's
it
why
really
I like
does.
And the peanut gallery in the back here is really enjoying it. They're taking it down.
They're
to
stealing
somebody. They're stealing the other bottle.
They're stealing the bottle
Yeah.
that I stole. So
Yeah.
Yeah, first David steals it, and then they steal it.
Luckily, we have two. So it's the Coney Island. Show the camera there because I think it's got a great label, and I always show them.
You're not the boss of me.
you know the,
There we go.
And
Oh, nice.
here's
There
the
you
part
go.
that.
Nice
Can we
sword
zoom in
Well, the-
here? I like that part.
and all the labels. I mean, what they've done. You guys talked about the first one.
Yeah.
But these are all modeled after old Coney Island freak show bands.
Right.
So they're all real. Traditional.
Oh yeah, this is the get your inner beer freak on.
Yeah.
And yes. And,
It's going back to
we
me
had a
now.
nice blog written about us doing that one. Right. Exactly.
I'm in touch with my inner beer freak.
Yes, you are. And this is part of
Lord knows.
That's right. Yeah, me
Seems
too.
like,
But then they called the cops. So it's like.
That's when you touch your inner beer freak in
So I
front of
would say,
everybody.
For me personally, it's 2 for 2.
Where'd the inner
with
beer
Coney
freak
Island.
touch you? I'm sorry.
2 for 2 with the Coney Island, I think. I think it's a nice.
Yeah, I gotta
would you say
say,
it's like a division of
nicely
Schmaltz,
done,
right?
guys.
Or it's a whole,
Yeah, it is.
It's a
their
brand of that they
It's
kind
their
of.
brand line. It's their lager brand line. Right.
So I've become a big fan of Schmaltz.
So in October we'll do the Freaktoberfest, which is their big red beer. Which is
Freaktoberfest?
I know you're
Freaktoberfest.
dying to drink more pumpkin beers.
Is it a pumpkin?
No,
Okay.
I know, but we don't know if we have room because he's such a big
he's got
fan
all the
of all
pumpkin
the.
beer.
You know, I think next year we could just make an entire theme of fall seasonals that have nothing to do with pumpkins.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it's not my show or anything. I'm just throwing out ideas here.
It's all right.
I'm just spitballing here.
So it's the.
You guys talk. I'm going to drink.
All
Sorry.
right, the
Go ahead.
Coney Island Sword Swallower Steel Hop Lager. There we go. With the nice non-phallic symbol label on the
Non-phallic.
front. Yeah, right, exactly. I don't.
It's a freaky thing.
It's a freaky thing, but it's not freaky tasting. It's actually pretty darn good. I think we both agree that it's,
Oh, yeah.
it's a very tasty beer. And David Little's favorite. So,
I'm dying to drink the rest of this.
well, I think there's more to the line, so we'll have to bring them along the way and kind of introduce them to you. And I think the first time I picked any of the Coney Island beers is because you go down the beer aisle now, today, the American craft beer aisle, there are just mountains of beer, and you kind of get lost in the labels. You know, some of them are okay, and they might be great beers, but the labels are not so good. The label on this stands out. You know, I mean, they're these big bottles, and they're really artsy, and so I picked it, but it just so happens the beer's pretty darn good too inside.
You know, I'm not going to wag my finger this time, but the whole you can't judge a book by its cover
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
I mean, it's a big first step. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
never have a second chance to make a first impression, that whole deal.
Very nice.
You gotta-
Is that like an antiperspirant commercial?
Yeah, I really feel like I should just like start spewing
So if you have any questions,
anecdotes.
or comments for John and I, it's pink@beeramerica.tv and it's paul@beeramerica.tv. And please leave comments. We like the comments. We don't hear enough, I think, from people. We usually get a handful of comments for every video that we do, but we get a lot of views. That I know. But
And
comments
David
are
Little,
good.
no comments.
No comments.
You're the
on
only one
David.
who makes
No,
comments.
No comments. No comments for you. No. Anyway, and yeah, look us up on Facebook. You can become fans of BeerAmerica.tv. You can become fans of Moon River Brewing. I mean,
can,
and
indeed.
exactly. And you can become friends with John Pinkerton. You can become friends with me. Look us up. Twitter's a great app. We've become a huge fan of Twitter. We've got 200 plus followers. Hopefully, it'll be 300, 400, 500.
It's become a great what?
application.
Or application.
Yes, or social app, or a nice
Social app.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of creepy.
It's great though. I love Twitter. Twitter's cool. A lot of beer freaks on Twitter. A lot of beer friends. And a shout out to the beer wench too, by the way, who we're going to get on here, who is a good friend of ours on Twitter.
Right on.
All right.
Thanks for your support.
Thanks. Cheers, everybody. BeerAmerica.tv. Thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, Chris is back there too. Cheers.